Light always beats darkness. Always. My son, Elijah, he's nearly 5, and he's sick at the moment. And he had a shocking night last night and kept waking up in the middle of the night really sweaty and feverish. And he was in a panic. And he asked me to call out for me and I'd get out of bed and wander through the dark to his room and pick him up just to calm him down, give him a drink. And then I'd be like, Elijah, it's okay, go back to bed. And he's like, no, Daddy, no. You stay with me, I'm not going to bed. He was so scared to go back to bed because it was dark. And so I reached up for this torch, this little torch, and I flick on this torch and just shine it against the wall. This little torch just fills the room with light. I know heaps of light, but the light always beats back the darkness. And Elijah says, it's okay, Daddy. And I put him down in his bed, and he shuts his eyes, and bam, he's asleep straight away. Because it's light. Just that little bit of light made all the difference for him. Because dark is a horrible place to be. I want you to think of a traveller. Back in the day, before street lights, before electricity, before smartphones with little torches on them. Way back in the day, someone traveling along. And you're traveling along this road and you've been walking all day to get to your destination. And it's just becoming a drag and you're getting tired and you'd expected to reach this destination ages ago to get to this place that you're hoping for, and it's just drudgery and you're just trudging on. And you're not there yet, and the sun sets. No street lights, no electricity, no batteries, no nothing. It's a cloudy night. It's a new moon. There's no stars, there's no moon to light your way. As soon as the sun goes down, it's dark, it's black. And you're walking along this rocky road. And then what do you start thinking? What is out there? I can't see a thing. Are there gangs of thieves that are going to jump on me and mug me? Are there lions out there? Is there a cliff that I'm about to fall off? Imagine how hard it was back then. When it went dark and you were traveling, you were done for. And at some point in our life, that is us. Walking in the dark, feeling like we're going forever and we're not getting to that place we really want to get to, and everything just goes pitch black and we've got no idea what to do. Whether you're going to get mugged or eaten alive, torn to pieces, fall off the edge into nothing. Every one of us has been there. And the dark is a dangerous place. But I know this, for many of us in this room, though we've been in that dark place, we have not stayed there. Because the reason we're here tonight is because of Jesus, right? And Peter, one of Jesus' best friends, he describes it like this: for those of us who've turned to Jesus, Jesus himself said, I am the light of the world. And Peter said of him that he has called us out of darkness and into his marvelous light. That we were stumbling around, wondering what was going to happen, whether we were going to get ripped to pieces or just totally lose the plot. And he, bam, shines this light, a little torch, just beating back the darkness. And it changes everything, calling us out of darkness into his marvelous light. And not in darkness anymore. The darkness of our sin doesn't hang over us like a heavy cloud. It parts, and we see the light of God in our life. We start to see things from God's perspective as his light shines. We see the dangers and we can move away from them. We can see the needs in the world and we move towards them the way he would. Everything is looking different. It's kind of like this. If we can have the lights down. When it's dark. Even phones off and everything. Totally dark. Can we go darker, Will? This is what it's like, right? And then somehow, someone says something and points us to Jesus, and it's like this little light comes on, just in the dark, and it starts to change everything for us. And we're not defined by this darkness that surrounds us anymore. We're defined by this light. that has come on. And we're starting to see stuff about ourselves that we couldn't see before because of this little light. We have this new identity in Jesus. That's where it starts. But Jesus doesn't stop there because he's turning on lights everywhere, right? You might start to see some lights turning on now. All right, let me see those lights. And he says, don't just be off on your own in the dark, just your little light. Let all the lights come together. Let's gather together, lights. Bring it in. This is beautiful. Here's the cool thing, right? I can see a little bit with this light on my own, but when we bring it in, our lights are a whole lot more obvious. Like I can shine my light on Justin's face. You say, you need to shave, brother. Nah, it's beautiful. But as we gather together and our lights shine, it's more obvious to all of you, right? We're starting to see more about each other. We're seeing the light reflecting off each other's faces. And that's what it's like when we live out our new identity in community. That the world doesn't seem to be such a dark place anymore because we're here for each other. And we're pointing the light of Jesus towards each other, and it's better, right? But here's the cool thing. He says, don't just sit there in community, like enjoying this light together. He says, shine it to the world. And this is your mission. Don't just sit back and enjoy it. Shine your light. And that's what we're going to talk about tonight. If we can have the lights again, Will, that would be sweet. Thank you, people. Mission sounds like a scary and challenging thing, and it always freaks me out. You got a mission. You got something to do. You got to go tell people about Jesus. And I'm like, I didn't even know where to start. Jesus tells you where to start. This is in Matthew chapter 5, verse 14. It's page 810 in the Bibles there if you want, but it's going to be on the screen. He says this to a crowd of followers. You are the light of the world. A city on a hill cannot be hidden. So mission is scary when I think about it myself, but here's an awesome thing for you to remember, and this is where we start, is you're a city on a hill. We do mission together. You're not alone in this. All of us together, shining our light, and Jesus shining his light through us, we are so much brighter together. How good is that? Jesus is speaking to a crowd of followers. It's not just to one person in their room reading their Bible. He's saying, you are a city on a hill. Together, let's shine our light to the world. You got a team behind you. You got a church. You got people who can encourage you on. A place to bring people and say, look, it's different when we're following Jesus. There is light here. And then he says this. Nor do people light a lamp and put it under a basket, but on a stand, and it gives light to all in the house. He's saying, you don't hide your light under a basket. You don't hide it. The light that is within you, the light that is within each of us is powerful, and it needs to be shone. Here's the thing just say this is a little candle, right? A tiny flame like that, if you cover it up, you're going to smother it, and it's going to go out. If you hide your light, if people can't see it, you're going to smother it, and it's going to go out. But he says we don't do that. We put it up high where everyone can see it. He's saying, don't pretend you're not a follower of Jesus. Don't hide it. Don't be ashamed to talk about Jesus, to pray, to love and forgive others the way he does, to say you go to church, to talk about how God helps you to see things. Don't hide that. That's crazy. And it's going to smother your light. Instead, he says, let people see it. And let people see it in all of you. And then he says this. In the same way, let your light shine before others so that they may see your good works and give glory to your Father who is in heaven. That they may see. There's people in darkness and they can't see the light that we have seen. And Jesus is saying, you've got to show them because they're not going to see it otherwise. If you're hiding your light, how are they going to see it? Let your light shine, your good works. Saying, you go to a restaurant, say grace. You got a friend who's down, talk to him about it. When they say, can I pray for you? Bring Jesus into your conversations. Say, I went to church on Sunday. I know you don't believe any of it, but this really inspired me. And I'm hanging on to this week. This is making all the difference for me. Little things like that you're not hiding it. Doing good to others when you know it's not going to pay off for you. You're just doing it because you love them. This is shining your light so people can see it. Sharing how excited you are. And here's what it's for. It's giving glory to your Father in heaven. Like we're a city on a hill, not so that people will look at us, but it's like this. On mission, together, we shine a light that points to God and points people to God. You imagine that traveler, right, in the dark, on that road, and it's getting darker and darker. And then they see this city on a hill, the only light for miles around. And it's going to change everything for them. Because now they know where to head. And now they know that right here, they're in a dangerous place, but they know where they're going. And they know it's going to be safe. And as long as they keep pushing towards that light that they can see, and they can see it's different, and it's drawing them in, then they're going to be okay. We're a city on a hill, and there's people out there, there's people in here that need to see that light in us shining. And we don't do it alone, we do it together. I hope that's really encouraging, but this is the really important thing. Is sometimes I would hear messages like this and think, all right, got to do it. I got to just get out there and try harder at this. Jesus says, I am the light of the world. He's talking about him. That this is something we really need to know. We don't shine unless we're lit up by Jesus. He is the light shining in us. So here's what we need to do. We need to let him take hold of us, to direct every step, to take hold of our thoughts, that we just focus on him so much that his light is spilling into our lives. We're not seeing the darkness anymore. We're just seeing light the way he is. And it's just changing everything step by step. It's not even an effort. It's like people trying to hide their mobile phones in a dark auditorium. You can't do it. It just spills out. People see it. The point is, it's not about the light that we're generating. It's the light that he is shining through us. We're a city on a hill. Mission starts with this, that together we are a city on a hill, shining light to the world.